It's race day here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, a track that's certainly seen a fair share of electrifying races over the past few years, and there are no doubts that today's race will be just as brilliant. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and we welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector, shortening lap times and reducing the total running to 2.9 miles and 14 turns. This was actually the original setup for the track, but it hasn't been used since 2007. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Leclerc, Max Verstappen, and Piastri, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Lawson, and Isaac Hadjar, Albon, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, and Stroll, Hülkenberg, Colapinto, Ollie Behrman, and Gabriel Bortoleto. Gasly and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. Now, Ant, you always tell me you know Barcelona almost as well as you know the back of your hand. Given the amount of testing that goes on here and the amount of laps that you and all the other drivers have done, what are the challenges that are left when it comes to the race?
I think it's a well-trodden path, is Barcelona, Crofty. I mean, most drivers will know it up and down the grid. They would have raced here in their junior categories. And you come to Barcelona and there's nowhere to hide. So naturally, that makes all the lap times quite close because it's a circuit you know so well. But there's a key to this track, and it's looking after your left-hand side tyres. There are so many right-hand, it's a clockwise circuit, so lots of fast right-hand corners puts a lot of energy on the left-hand side tyres. So looking after those through the race, getting your strategy right is vital for this circuit.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, DRS is now available. Good job, nice overtake. Okay, final lap, let's go, final lap.
I didn't expect that, definitely, and I definitely enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. And we're going to send Genty up today. So Genty to go up and get the trophy with you. So well done, mate.
Yuki Tsunoda takes the checkered flag and wins.
You always look back at a race like this and think, if I'd just made that mistake there or locked up here, there would have been contact. And every one of those overtakes is a moment where you have to absolutely nail it, perfect it, and that's exactly what they're able to do today. Great stuff indeed.
We had drama from start to finish, but in the end, there was only ever one that could take that top spot. What a victory for a very popular young man. Yuki Tsunoda takes the top step today. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One. Welcome back to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, where Stroll, Latifi and Villeneuve, both Jacques and Gilles, are the 4 Canadian point scorers in the past. Who's going to come out on top today at this favourite of the F1 calendar? It's the Canadian Grand Prix. It's one of the fastest races of the season here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 60% of this 2.7-mile circuit taken at full throttle. There are 14 corners to navigate, the very last of which has its very own infamous history and could be the cause of a safety car today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position. And Andrea Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Verstappen, Yuki Tsunoda, and Norris, Russell, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, and Alex Albon, Stroll, Hadjar, Liam Lawson, and Sainz, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Esteban Ocon, and Franco Colapinto. Bortoletto and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. What a track this is, and what a challenge for the drivers this weekend. Long straights, heavy braking zones, and a very green surface to start with.
All about the braking, all about firing your car over the curbs, the way you have to dance the car over the curbs, particularly in turn 3 and turn 4, close to the barriers on the right-hand side. Wall of champions as well, waiting for you right at the end of the lap.
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Gap to your teammate behind, 5.1 seconds.
Yes! Good job, guys. Good one, good one.
That was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You nailed it from the start.
It's Yuki Yahei! Yuki Tsunoda wins!
Well, what can I say, Crofty? 10 wins in a row for this driver now. Really impressive stuff. You know, they've set the benchmark high. Going forwards, are we going to be talking about 11, 12, maybe 13 wins in a row coming up? We probably will be.
It's time for our podium celebrations. And as ever in Formula One, 3 is the magic number. And the little man towers over the rest. It's the top step of the podium for Yuki Tsunoda. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one. The hills are alive with the sound of engines. It's race day here at the Austrian Grand Prix. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of around 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill of turn 3. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Andrea Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda, and Russell. Verstappen, Piastri, Lawson, and Fernando Alonso. Hadjar, Sainz, Alex Albon, and Stroll. Hülkenberg, Bortoletto, Franco Colapinto, and Pierre Gasly. Behrman and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. So much to talk about on what is such a short lap. It's the fastest lap times of the season, but that doesn't mean it's not a challenge.
It's a real challenge to get right, this circuit. Lots of tight corners linked up with very long straights. You've got 3 DRS zones as well. That means that the racing is often very close, and you can hang on to potentially a faster car if you can stay within that 1 second buffer. But you've then got some higher speed corners like turn 6 and 7 in the middle of the track, and then the 2 final corners as well. Track limits. Yep, there we go. I mentioned it. Be careful.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Cool.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Final lap, final lap. Push, push.
Was a nice car, very nice car, amazing car.
That was a proper quality drive.
The checkered flag is out. The crowd roar their approval for Yuki Tsunoda. There's room for 3 on their podium, but only ever 1 right at the top. Let the celebrations begin. What a victory for a very popular young man. Yuki Tsunoda takes the top step today. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.